The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf.
We intersected some very high grade copper, 14.14.5% copper over 2.5 meters. And Novamera specializes in what they call surgical mining, and that involves rotary drilling down the throat of tabular deposits that with a up to 2 meter diameter rotary drill.
All right, welcome back inside our Proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Brian Fowler. He is the CEO of Northstar Gold Corp. And Brian, good to see you again. How are you?
I'm well, Steve. Thank you. Good to see you.
Yeah, so you and I've talked in the past about you're hoping to use this type of surgical mining at your Cam Copper mining project. And today you're announcing that you've secured up to $4 million from Digital, which is Canada's global innovation cluster for digital technology. So I know that this has been a long time coming for you, Brian. So maybe kind of explain to us a little bit about this.
Certainly, yes. We're very pleased to announce this, and this all started back in 2023 when we signed an MOU with Novamera, who were very interested in our high-grade Cam Copper project, 18 kilometers southeast of Kirkland Lake, where we intersected in 2023. We intersected some very high-grade copper, 14.14.5% copper over 2.5 meters. And Novamera specializes in what they call surgical mining, and that involves rotary drilling down the throat of tabular deposits that with a up to 2 meter diameter rotary drill, and they collect the cuttings, and then that can be shipped directly to a mill. So it's a novel new way and approach of mining with a very low environmental impact. Digital, who are a federally funded agency with a mandate to support critical minerals mining and technology, amongst other things. So we engaged Digital by way of a number of agreements with Novamera, and took this forward. And yeah, so this morning we announced that we've got a project that's been approved for up to $11 million, and Digital is going to provide up to $4 million, split roughly evenly between Novamera and Northstar to advance this.
Yeah, and this is obviously really good news because this is a federal funding coming, so it's not diluting your shareholders and allowing you to get that capital where you need it, which is in the ground.
Absolutely. We've got about on our side about $3.5 million capital cost to get this thing going. We stand to receive about $2 million from Digital. This is a net investment, and it's basically funding to provide up to 30% of these pre-approved expenditures. So we have to spend the money to get the return, but this is huge for us, and it's a solid endorsement, and yeah, so we look forward to going forward.
And the other thing, Brian, is you have partners within this, as you've talked about. You've got Novamera, you've got Northstar, you've got Micon. You've got some partners with you that are able to absorb some of this cost as well. So it allows you to really, because I know you're very high on this particular project after getting the results you had. So it's nice to have those friends with you to help lead the way.
Absolutely. No, you can't do it yourself. And like I said, we started discussions with Novamera in October of 2023, and so we just kept moving this forward, and we're very pleased to achieve this milestone.
Yeah, and Brian, do you have a timeline as to what's going to happen here in 2026? Do you have some thoughts on that yet, or are you at that point?
No, certainly. We closed the $1 million private placement just before year end, and we used some of the proceeds from that to do some more infill diamond drilling on the number 2 zone of Cam Copper, where we're going to surgically mine. We're currently logging that core. We anticipate announcing significant assays next month, and then that information will update our geological model and provide this information to Novamera, and they will review and update and finalize their mining projections. And then we'll get this all incorporated in an NI 43-101 report, which Micon will oversee, and that'll provide basis for a mine permitting application. We have to apply for a closure plan, an environmental assessment. But being surgical mining with such a low environmental footprint, we fully expect, and having federal support, we fully anticipate an accelerated timeline and simplified from a mining permitting standpoint. So yeah, we're gonna hit the ground running here.
All right, we'll leave it there. Brian, thanks so much. Good to see you again.
Okay, thank you, Steve.
All right, Brian Fowler, the CEO of Northstar Gold Corp.
The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf. It is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice, an offer, or a solicitation to buy or sell any securities. Viewers should conduct their own research and consult a qualified financial advisor before making investment decisions. The views expressed are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of Proactive Group Holdings, trading as Proactive Investors or its affiliates. No responsibility is accepted for any loss arising from reliance on the information presented.